Peeps have been asking me about my build. Well, I'm here to deliver. Now my build has changed substantially since I made my rogue hunting video. I now currently run two types of builds for the Dark Zone, though both rely on electronics. The first of which is an electronics scanner build. Now I usually run the, let's see, what is it here? The military SA-58, or is that another S? Fuck it. Anyways, accuracy is increased by 46%, that's great on this weapon. Headshot damage is increased by 24%. That is great for 3-round burst, which this is one. You're always going to be aiming for the head. With any 3-round burst or marksman rifle, you know, you get the gist. And then the talent Vicious Ant, nobody cares about that one, it kinda sucks. Also, I just bought this AUG that was on sale. I had a different AUG beforehand, which actually isn't that much worse than the AUG I just bought, even though it's a gear score of 163. I don't really understand all the gear score stuff. It doesn't make sense to me because the weapons are big. Anywho, that one had damage increased by about 10, blah blah blah, killing increases your health 6%, whatever. Okay, the new one with the 204, well, I mean, you've seen it with the headshot damage, is always nice. I don't have enough stamina to get the critical hit chance. I mean, I don't like doing those anyways, because it has the full health, like, contingency, and I'm never at full health. It's just not happening. And then killing a target has a 23.5% chance to instantly refill magazine. I hate that perk, actually. I am a meticulous reloader, and you wouldn't believe how many times this fucks me up, because I'm like, why isn't it reloading? Is the game going, what? And then my mind will have a quick meltdown before I realize, oh wait, it's that talent kicking in. So going from left to right, my DPS ain't the greatest, but it's pretty good. I mean, most people who are DPS mains, I think, would be in like the 220k range, and that's inflated by all sorts of accuracy stuff, and the DPS calculator is a lie. If you haven't seen Skill Up's video, I might just link that in the freaking video itself. That's a great video, and it explains why everything's so freaking broken right now. But anyways, my health is absolutely terrible. I'm trying to fix that, but it's harder than it seems because I am not usually lucky by RNGesus's terms. My skill power is pretty good though. The biggest problem I have right now is my survivability. My armor is only at 52% weapon mitigation, and I need that much higher if I want to do anything. As for my armor, none of it really matters, except for this chest piece I got, which has hella armor, damage to elites, whatever, but it's a first aid self-heal, and it grants overheal to all healing skills, which is fan-fucking-tastic, especially on this build. The reason for that is, into the abilities, my pulse is actually super awesome. It's at 38.9% and then 97.3% for critical hit damage. That's where a lot of the DPS I get comes from. But the first aid kit I use, or first aid modification, that is on overdose right now. It shouldn't be. It's on booster shot, and that's just to get more armor, which I'm severely lacking in right now, and it's some extra damage. I need to kill them quick, and I need to kill them efficiently. So onto my actual character talents, I currently have On the Move, which, yeah, it's not really that important because you know, it's more for the PvE side of things. I think I would prefer Precision just to get that extra damage boost, and I also sometimes run Strike Back, but that's only if you have a high skill build. Otherwise, that's not really going to help you all that much. These two are a must. I don't really need to explain those. You play the game and you know why those are great. And then one is none is obvious. My other build is the Sticky Bomb and Seeker Mine one that I always use. Now, the only big things you need are two things. One is the Caduceus, or any main gun that has the cool-headed talent that isn't a marksman rifle. Because that's going to come in super handy, and I'll tell you why in a couple minutes. Or seconds, whatever, depends. Now, I have the Reckless vest, which is apparently bugged right now. That might be a bad thing to do since you only have so little health. Eventually, once it gets fixed, but that's what I'm using right now. Adjust accordingly, I guess. The big thing is, this Operator Pack is 3% of the damage dealt by skills is returned as healing. Now that's why I keep getting up off the ground after I've already hit, like, death status and I'm on the ground. The healing effect that happens after you get damage from, say, like, the bleeding effect from the BFB or the fire effect from the Seeker Mine counts still when you're down, so once you immediately get down, you immediately get back up as a res. because that damage over time is still healing you. The problem is, if you don't use a medkit right away when you get up, you have the smallest amount of health possible, and any one shot will instantly kill you then. My BFB, which does damage over time, and the explosive damage is 2,500 HP, you gotta max that out. Also, explosion radius comes in super handy. I don't have a high explosion radius on this one. On my old build I did, but since they brought in so much new gear, I had to, readjust my stuff, and I'm sure you had to do the same, yada yada. The Seeker Mine, you could use the cluster, but you wouldn't get the fire, and it has a really small explosion radius. That's not very good when you're fighting enemies. I prefer the air burst, but you could try the cluster one if you wanted to. I'm actually using Tactical Link instead of Survivor Link, and the reason for that is Tactical Link increases your damage not enough to counteract Survivor Link, but if you get the drop on him, which with this build you're gonna, it's either do or die. You're not gonna be actually going in a one-on-one gunfight with this one. Your aiming is to kill them immediately, otherwise you're dead. And the extra 50% damage is really nice. So for my talents, I have Chain Reaction, which is a complete must. Most people are running with 70k, 80k, maybe even 90k health on a DPS build. But, back in my old Rogue video, everyone was having a DPS boner and completely forgot about stamina, so I could run maybe 35k skill power and get away with that and kill so many people and not have an issue raising my stamina up. But that times have changed because people realize stamina and armor are really powerful right now. The Combat Medic and Critical Save is important because you'll be using medkits all the time. Even though you'll be leeching your health off of other enemies, it's nice to have oh shit moment, because every once in a while you'll run into enemies that will just melt you. Here's where you can have some leeway. I'll change between 3 of them, and that's Strike Back, reduce low health, or reach low health to reduce active skill cooldowns by 20%. I don't use that too much because if I'm at low health, I'm probably gonna die, especially against PvPers and other rogues, especially groups of 3. So I run Wildfire. Applying burn to any target triggers a 30% chance to apply the effect to all targets within 10 meters. I like that because then I can get more DOT, which is more heals for me. Now, you might be wondering why I'm not using Demolitions Expert. I could, but the reason I don't use Demolitions Expert is because when I have that actually up and it's available for me to get that extra 40% damage, I feel like I keep trying to hit shots that I'm not going to be able to get, and it's rushing me. Mentally, I'm thinking, I gotta use it, otherwise I won't get that 40%. And once I miss that shot, I'm basically dead in the water. I don't have any way to combat other people. Sure, I could shoot them, but that's not going to do anything compared to what they can do to me. They're just going to rip through me. Thus concludes the build video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. See you later.